This is sunrise from our Parador hotel room in El Hierro. And we're heading out exploring. So what we got on for today then, Jules? And I know you're going to have to consult your list because you've been busy making one.
So we're going to start, we'll basically do 3/4 of the island today, so it's quite a long day. We're going to start with Punta Grande. It's got the smallest hotel in the world.
Okay, the smallest hotel in the world.
And then we're going on to see the giant lizards.
Okay.
At the Eco Museum. I might slip in a little trip to the Bodega, which we tasted yesterday, which is just around the corner from there. Excellent. And then we're gradually heading down south. So we're going to, she says, looking at the list, Charco Azul, so it's a nice swimming pool area. Then we're going to the Arco de Tosca, which is literally a volcanic arc. Then there's the Veredal Beach, which is bright red sand apparently, so that might be something different. That
sounds interesting.
El Sabinar, which is where you see all the crooked trees bent over with the wind, so that's iconic El Hierro. The Pine Forest, Pico Malpasa, which is the highest point, and finally into Restinga for some shrimps at El Refugio. Before heading back to the hotel. So we've got to squeeze all that in.
Oh my goodness, right, we better crack on. As the sign says, we're in the Ayuntamiento area, or the municipality of La Frontera. This side of the island, quite cloudy as you can see, but brilliant sunshine over on the other side of the island. We've just come down through a tunnel. I didn't measure the distance, but it must have been... Yeah, getting on for 3 kilometres, downhill all the way, and we descended 400 metres in it. It just went on and on and on. Those rocks look impressive over there.
That's the Salma, Roques Salma.
Ah, the Roques de Salma. Now tell us about this little hotel, Julie. Let's walk around here, yeah.
It's Hotel Punta Grande.
Punta Grande.
The smallest hotel in the world. It was bought in 2018 by an Italian family that were living in Tenerife, and they've got 3 children, and they run the hotel, so you can go and dine there, or you can stay.
Very cool, and it's accessed by a bridge out onto the rock that it's on. So there it is, Punta Grande, and it's not very grande. It should be called Punta Pequeña, no? And here's the village, and if I pan up now, you'll see where the cloud starts at the top of these massive cliffs. Here's a better shot of the smallest hotel in the world, and I love the fact that the sign up here says Embarcadero, which means boarding. So you board out there, and they've got a little tuk-tuk parked in the drive there. And I'll just read you what it says on the plaque over here. Let me just show you the sign, and then on the plaque it says, this old building from 1884 located on the Punta Grande jetty was restored almost a century later by Francisco Padron Vergara. After being enabled as a hotel under the direction of the architect Jose Luis Jimenez, it opened its doors in 1987. In 2018 it was acquired by the Namias family. Today David and Paula Namias run this unique and incomparable corner located at the end of the world, and once again a reference to this being the end of the world. I think this is such a cool idea. It's in a bus stop, and it's done by the Ayuntamiento, and what they've done is taken every restaurant's menu in the municipality and put it on here with a QR code. So you can just QR Bar Restaurante Arena, Kiosco Las Puntas, and so on. Just such a clever idea, I love it. Ah, well spotted, yep. There's a map of the locations of some of them down at the bottom, the ones along the front here. It's a great idea, isn't it?
Brilliant.
We've been to visit the giant lizard recovery centre that lives at the base of these cliffs, but they've also got a representation of a village called Guinea, where the original inhabitants lived on the island long before the conquest here. So that's a cooking area. The houses were made of stone with thatched roofs. I don't know if this will work inside. I don't know if the light's good enough, but here's the inside with a bed made up, animal skin on the floor. tools in the corner and a little fireplace. And we're just doing a tour of this village. The lizards were interesting. They were on the point of going extinct in 1940, and they managed to bring them back. Their biggest predator is cats, so they have a lot of them that are injured by cats that they need to bring in and make healthy again before they're let back out into the wild. And they live, as I say, on these cliffs above us. You can see how close this village of Guinea was to the ocean. There are quite a few houses here, and they also made use of these volcanic tubes, and as you can see from the ground underfoot, it's very volcanic here, for shelter. They grew crops. We can see corn there and an aljibe, a water storage device. Julie was just saying how well camouflaged this is. I mean, you can't see it from the road at all.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at all when we pulled in.
So this is the village of Guinea in El Hierro. We had a bottle of wine in a restaurant here in El Hierro yesterday, and it was Bodega's Uwe. And I thought that's a German name, and we just saw the sign outside on the road here and drove in to have a quick look at it. And it's a beautiful little bodega. It is indeed run by a German who's been here for 30 years and is apparently very Canarian. There's a little shop there. We bought some wine from them. The shop's run by an Australian lady of all things who's currently marooned here, can't return home, and her little dog is called Ozzy. So this is Bodega's Uwe, and they make unusual wine. They don't use any oak, they don't age it in wood at all, and we're looking forward to trying what we've bought. We walked down to the Charco Azul, the blue hole here in El Hierro, and I'm going to go in there and have a look. I hope it's worth it, because that's where we've come down from, and that was quite hard on the old knees coming down, and I no doubt it'll be hard on the lungs going back up. This is quite tide dependent, of course, and it's low tide at the moment. Julie's down there taking photos. There's some kind of social media influencer down there having photos taken. We've got friends who've jumped in and had a swim here, but that's not going to be the case today. As you can see, it's quite a rough coast here. But kind of very volcanic, quite Lanzaroteño-ish, if that makes sense. Has a sort of stark beauty to it. And that's the part you can swim in across the other side of the blue hole. Julie's found us another really remote place to visit. This is called El Verodel. Extremely volcanic, as you can see, and we've just driven down a track a couple of kilometres with lava flows on either side, and you end up at this lovely red sand beach at the bottom of the volcano there. And there's a beautiful shaded area. You can have a picnic there. In fact, there's some people eating in there now. Quite windy down here, but it's really hot. As soon as you get out to the cloud here, the temperature climbs. It's 28 degrees. And Julie's down there taking some photos now. Just go to the view on the right for a minute, Julie. Thank you. So we're in El Pinar, which is the pine forest, and we've climbed from sea level to 1,000 meters, and it's absolutely beautiful up here. The views are amazing, as you can imagine. Once again, a super challenging road, but look at all the pine needles on the side of the road. We've seen pine cones. These pine trees are slightly smaller than the ones you see in Gran Canaria and Tenerife. And we're on our way down to La Restinga now, aren't we, Julie?
It is. That's famous for its dive sites, isn't it, La Restinga? And also where the eruption was underwater. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Ago?
Yeah, when in the last 10 years or so.
2011, I think. Yeah.
Right. So about 10 years ago. Yeah, there was an underwater eruption there, and I remember seeing the pictures on television of the water boiling around the area. Yeah, apparently very good dive site, and we're told very good for seafood and especially shrimp down there. So we're going to get a very late lunch down there on our way down. Here we are in La Restinga, so we've come all the way down from that pine forest, dropped well over 1,000 meters back to sea level, and it's a harbour with a port in it. There's a Coast Guard boat there, private vessels, a few fishing vessels. This wooden and paved walkway is quite nice, and there's a buoyed off swimming area there. Lots of people enjoying an afternoon swim. We're going to head into town, and Julie's found a restaurant for us that we're going to go and enjoy some local shrimp at.